Hello everyone and welcome back to Things I'm Interested in video, and this time I'll be talking about The Witcher 3. But this video is not like any other video. This time I'll actually have a good friend of mine, Leti, someone who actually likes The Witcher just like me, and I thought to myself I could just talk about the game by myself, or I could just have someone else here to help fill in the blanks that I won't fill in. So say what's up, Leti.
Oh, I love The Witcher. I love The Witcher so much. Oh, it's like I got sparkles all over myself thinking about it.
Well, yeah, this guy is pretty much a die-hard Witcher guy. Apparently, he holds the record of 100% completion while playing the game
I wish I did.
on one foot. So, fear this man. This man is dangerous.
I'm working so hard to get 100% completion.
Oh man, I hope you get it one day.
So damn fun.
So, Witcher 3, I've got his document open right here just for some reference. You probably won't be seeing it, you're probably seeing clips of the game right now. But so far, we know it's coming out in February 24th, next year, 2015. And it's gonna be an open world game. Unlike the past two Witcher games had this system of you would be put in an open space that's limited, probably a city or a village. And then these would be linked to each other. There'll be multiple villages or cities linked to each other through story events. So you couldn't just wander off as you saw, like you would do in Skyrim, for example. But now they're saying it's open world. You can go
All of it.
wherever you want. Dan, what do you think about this, man? Is it good or is it bad?
Yeah, it was. Witcher 1 and 2 are more like linear open world. They would go in a straight line, you'd do everything in a section, and it would be open world with quotes, but it would be like there's an area, you go to the next area, you go to the next area. With open world, we're talking like Skyrim big, just 20% bigger, they're saying, than Skyrim. It's a whole lot more difficult for them to do because it's something they've never done.
True.
But I think it'll be a whole lot better of a game for it. It is what the world, the environment of The Witcher is made for. It's for open world. It has to be.
True. But then,
I think it's a really good choice.
wouldn't you think, though, you're saying it's gonna be hard to do, wouldn't you think that since it's gonna be an open world Witcher games, like Geralt is Geralt, right? He's a set character, and he has a set appearance. For example, hairstyle, looks, skin color, tone, and all that stuff, and all the characters are set within the game. Now, if it's gonna be an open world 20 times bigger than Skyrim, wouldn't, for example, all those people who liked Skyrim, wouldn't they be kind of offended or feel bored with the lack of available customization within like the character or within the game, his armor? Well, you can pick up different armors, but you can't really change Geralt and you can't change any other characters, you know what I mean? It's a set story you have to kind of follow and accept. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm sure there were people back in the day, especially with Witcher 2, who were interested in the Elder Scrolls and wanted to play Witcher, and then they found out that it was like a totally different game. Won't it be like the same problem again?
Witcher 2 and Skyrim are actually similar but very, very different games. Skyrim is open world, it's mod free, everything is there for the world, okay? Right. But Witcher is a story-driven experience. Skyrim, it's got a story, but it's not the best story. It's more about the world.
Very true.
Whereas Witcher it's about the environment, but it's mostly about the story and what happens and the gray areas in your story, in your life. This is like this deep-hitting, hard stuff when it's going to it.
It's quite.
Your choices really matter.
And I hope they really pull through with like the multiple choices to multiple conclusions and stuff, because I don't. It's like in the Witcher 2, for example, I appreciated the fact that you could make choices, but then in the end it just came down to there's the set ending. The only thing that really changed was whether you killed Letho or not, you know what I mean? But it's like the main points of the story.
There were actually 16 different endings, slightly different. Endings. Just depends on how many. Like if you went on the cop side or the green side, if you killed Letho, if you didn't kill Letho, it changed the story slightly. Your ending slightly, but not vastly.
I hope that it's like some vast thing. Like, for example, in one ending, the guy flies, for example, and then in the other ending, it's like a totally different thing, because it was just like small changes.
Hopefully it's not like a green color ending or a blue color ending or a red color ending.
Definitely. I don't know about that, but like you've pointed out here, there's now more emphasis on actual monster hunting. And when I was checking out some of the footage they were showing, they were talking about how maybe you can be on one quest. For example, they showed him chasing after the griffin, and then along the way to the griffin, some NPCs were doing some random stuff, and he actually chose to get involved, and he found out that it was muggers trying to rape a woman, and then that in itself was already a quest. And then by helping the woman, she gives you tips on where the griffin flew to and stuff like that, how these side quests are intertwined, and how the beasts are actually now, they actually matter. It's like hunting in the past to me was just like the side game you could do, and it was fun to do.
Just for extra experience and for extra stuff.
But it wasn't really a main part. It wasn't
mission critical.
Yeah. So, what...
I suppose that's why it's called a side quest.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think, but what they really learned with The Witcher 2 was that basically there was so much politics, there was so much human stuff, that the monsters were sort of the real good stuff was left by the wayside. Mm-hmm. You did them, but it wasn't integral to The Witcher. True. But that's what The Witcher's about. It's about the monster slaying. That's why I think they've really gone with it this time. Hopefully, with monster slaying.
But to be honest, it's like the monsters looked all fine and dandy, right? Like the graphics were really good, the designs were great. But to me, what I want to see the most is the wild hunt. But anyway, enough about that. Next point we'd like to talk about are the new mechanics. Back in, for example, let's talk about The Witcher 1. The Witcher 1 was more of a turn-based combat, like a classical RPG, in the sense that when you would encounter an enemy, you'd click on the guy, your character would do his animation, it would deal the damage based on their armor type and your damage type, and then it would go back and forth like that. There was no... there was some...
I never let up.
True, there was some dodging to some extent, but it was very turn-based. Then in The Witcher 2, they introduced this more action-based RPG-style mechanics, whereby you have the roll and lock-on systems and active spells and attacks. But it was kind of iffy. It wasn't too solid, I felt, the Witcher 2 one.
And then the difficulty curl on that was also a bit
it was quite weird.
Everyone attributed that as to a studio learning on a new engine. And then that, to be honest, they actually did start patching it up a little bit and a little bit there. And then you got mods for the rest of it. But mods only came out quite a bit later.
Yeah, true. It's like for the people who actually got to play the game first before the mods, it was for some, like for me, the very first time I played The Witcher 2, I just didn't understand what was going on. I felt that it wasn't explained too well for someone who utterly had never played a Witcher game before, and then I slowly learned, and then things got better from there. But now they're promising new mechanics. We have ranged weapons. So far they've only showed us a crossbow. Maybe there might be something else, like an actual bow, who knows, a gun maybe. We still have magic, we still have rolling, but now instead of rolling during active combat, they have this sort of sidestepping, backstepping, which is something that's actually been implemented in Bloodborne, which is From Software's next game, and they kind of looked at it in the same point of view, in the sense that in Dark Souls you always used to roll around to evade, but in real combat there's not much time to be rolling around. Instead, people are more favorable to sidestepping and evading while still maintaining your footing, and they've kind of implemented this in The Witcher as well. There's now mini parkour, in the sense that now you can actually jump over things. You can actually jump, first of all. You can jump over.
Yeah, that's a huge thing for me. Seriously, jumping and going over things is such a huge thing for me in The Witcher. It is. I would run in a straight line somewhere in Witcher 1 and 2. I would find a point and I would go for it. Go in a straight line, and there would be a fence straight in front of me, and I could not go over it. I would actually start looking for a way, like a little hand or something, to say jump over, and it wouldn't do it. Because there was no such thing as a jump.
Nothing at all.
That would irritate me so much, and I'd have to do a long way around, go all the way around the little knee-high fence, all the way around to my destination.
Definitely, I think that
so jumping
is huge,
especially in an open world. is huge for me.
100%, man. Because it's like, if we're gonna make it open world, and then all of a sudden I have to like run like for 5 minutes going around this one place, then it's not really open world anymore. You know what I mean? It's like you're now boxing me into certain paths.
When it was in the linear style, the knee-high fences were a bit irritating, but not breaking. But now that it's open world, you need to jump.
Yeah.
I need to walk over that knee-high fence.
100%, man.
Or that rock.
But besides that, they did say they were going to introduce boats and horses. Maybe there might be other animals as well. I hope there are other animals besides just horses, because that's kind of like the cliche.
Like a unicorn.
Yeah, a unicorn or a magical pig or something. I don't know, something like a boar.
Or a tameable griffin.
Exactly, a griffin or a boar or something crazy and wild that you can actually use in combat. It would be fun. Besides, it's like horses are now too mainstream for me. They're way too boring.
Actually, sort of like use the axis sign on this animal, and then approach him and you can ride him, but only for a certain length of time. And you can ride him all the way into a battle moment, and then just jump off him and let the boar go loose, and then you're fighting somebody else at the same time.
That would be good. And also I was thinking,
but then you might have to kill the boar at the end of it, because now the axis sign it's
gone.
I think it's the axis sign.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's gone.
I had an idea, like, if it was possible to get something like that's big and tough, maybe like a troll, and you'd ride it, then you'd like use it to bash objects or something, you know what I mean, like bash barricades and stuff like that. But that would actually be quite cool.
Yeah, this is all conjecture here.
Yeah, but besides those additions, the environments have been improved. Of course, there are more environments than the previous games because the game is bigger. More mountains, more vistas, forests, swamps and everything. There's a whole lot you could check out on the game. But so far, to me, I think that this is a project that's gonna be, it's very big. It's not even like a joke. It's the game, if they execute it the way it's meant to be in terms of the story, all the additional new characters and the characters from old, and then the environments and the monster hunting with the gameplay, I think they could make something very good. But I'm scared that with the open game will come the problems that I had with most open games, and that's glitches. So
yeah, it's going to be glitches. I'm pretty much anticipating to see how fast I can break the game. Because Skyrim, I broke the game within 5 minutes. Honestly, I broke it within 5 minutes.
I don't know. To me, that's the scary part.
But then Skyrim was rife with glitches. But hopefully, with this extra year they've gone through, that hopefully they've fixed more glitches than Bethesda had in their time for Skyrim.
Yeah, definitely.
And then there's always the mods, which I hope, because they've learned now with 1 and 2 that mod support is a very, very good thing. Hopefully they just release it out as well, and you start getting to mod it straight away. And I really hope that actually helps the game progress.
That's, I don't know. Something tells me that they might be scared to do so in the beginning, but I hope they'll change their minds. Because if they don't, and the game comes out broken like what Skyrim was, I don't know. For me personally, it will really take away a lot from the game.
It'll be a very big letdown.
It will be, because it's like right now I'm just hoping for this amazing game. It will be similar to what happened with Dark Souls. Like they show you this amazing game, but not all of it. Then when the game comes out, problems. Then it's like, oh my word, why? You'd rather just not release it.
The marketing was done too well, and the engineers behind it were like, don't whip us so hard, master.
I don't know, but anyway, it's like there's a lot of information about this game on the internet, and I think that it's gonna be awesome. You can go check out most of it for yourselves, and I'm sure the developers have released quite a number of videos about just answering questions, Q&As about the game, and their videos, of course.
I actually found more for last year, for 2013's part, and less so now for the current release, the 24th release. I've found less interviews for this, more videos though.
Oh, and
more hype.
I'd forgot to ask, what's your opinion of the length of the game? You were saying that the main quests of the game will take up about 100 hours. Is that long enough?
No, it's I think. Well, basically from past interviews, it was boasted at about 100 hours total to 120 hours total. And 50 of those hours are going to be main quests, and 50 of those hours are going to be side quests. So I'm expecting the first couple of runs to be about 30 hours, and then when speedruns actually get about decent, it's going to be about 25 hours to 20 hours for the main quest.
Yeah.
So really, that's what I expect. So I don't particularly go on developers 50 hours.
Yeah, true. But would you have wanted it to be more than that, or do you think this is stretching it a bit too far?
Yes, I would totally love it for it to be 50 hours. I mean, which is such a beautiful world to be in. I mean, Skyrim was so disappointing with like 10 minutes of main quest.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's you sort of sit there going, oh, is that all? And then other games, you just go, oh, is that all? So a 50-hour main quest seems like almost bliss to me, especially in an RPG world.
The reason why I was asking,
especially in an open world RPG world,
the reason why I was asking was because 50 hours for the entire main quest is a lot compared to most other AAA titles that you see, first-person shooters, whatever. Those ones usually have like small amount of actual story time. But in terms of RPGs, right, if this is boasting 50 hours, there are some games I can just name from the top of my head, like Dark Souls or Final Fantasy, that boast like for example, Final Fantasy
10 times that.
Final Fantasy 12 back on the PS2. I think the main story quest, I guess if you speed ran through the game, you could do it in sub 50 hour. But like for first playthroughs, you get about maybe 70 to 80, maybe even 90 hours of the actual story and actually finding all the things. You know what I mean? It was quite interesting. I hoped it would be a bit longer than that, because it's like I don't see them ever making a Witcher 4, for example, within the next 2-3 years.
No, I don't think so.
You know what I mean? It was.
I don't think this is touted to be the final Witcher game. I think there's going to be like other little games, like they're doing the adventure game right now as well. And I think they'll do other stuff like that, maybe, because I know there used to be a mobile game of some sort. I think they'll be doing more of those, but then I think they're going to go on to another IP. I really hope this is basically the end.
I personally hope that they do other things, because, you know...
Because there is Cyberpunk 2077 or something like that. That CD Projekt Red is also doing, which is a futuristic thing, which I think they've been sharing information on how each of the RPGs are going to be going, and then I think the main crew is going to shift over to Cyberpunk once Witcher 3 is finished. Completely done.
Yeah, I was just complaining in terms of the length. I was saying that I hope it's longer, because it's like all these other games that I had mentioned had longer storylines, and then they had games more frequently released, right? So it's like you'd always get your dose of the game. But then this kind of reminds me of The Witcher 2, because there was a time when I was really enjoying the game, and then it ended. And that was like 4 years ago. You know what I mean? 5 years ago. And I haven't touched it. I've touched the game since then, but I'm saying like I hadn't had a new experience within The Witcher ever since then. Once it ended, that was that. So to me, as a swan song, 50 hours is kind of short. And it's the same thing I could say, for example, Deus Ex Human Revolution. I was like, wow, they've remade the game so well. But then it's over now. And that was so many years ago. And there's still nothing till now. So at least make the games longer so that people can enjoy them for longer. Not just sit down a few days later.
I think with the side quests, I think when you play The Witcher, you don't play just the main mission. Honestly, if you play it like that, you're not playing Witcher properly. Witcher is really, you've got to play all of the side missions. It's really something you have to do. It's part of the game. It's really part of the story. And it's what really brings it. So for you to ignore it, it would be really sad.
True.
And 100 hours does seem, 50 hours for main quest does seem pretty short when you bring up Dark Souls and stuff like that. But then for a European and for an American style game, that's huge.
Yeah, true. That's quite big. If you that's what I was saying. Like if you compare it to other games, it's actually quite huge. But yeah,
I think you can consider Witcher like a European style game, whereas everything else, like Skyrim, that's like American style, and it's a different style altogether.
Yeah, totally agree with you on that one. So Any closing remarks? Any last thoughts on this game before we close it out, or is that it? Have we hit?
Geralt has a beard, and I think it's the baddest, assest part, the bestest part. He has a beard.
Oh man, I guess you heard it here, folks. Geralt's beard means that we're gonna have ourselves a very good game. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys.
Apparently, you're supposed to be able to style it.
Definitely. Thanks for watching, people. As you've heard it here first, the beard rules them all. Thanks to my friend here, Leti, for helping me out make this short little podcast, and we will be seeing you guys next time. When next time will be, I don't know. So next time, later.